Jake Mercer, the janitor's son, confronted the daunting task when his boss dared him to repair a malfunctioning machine that others feared to approach. The atmosphere buzzed with laughter while uncertainty loomed, yet Jake possessed a concealed talent that would astonish all. What he disclosed next transformed the workshop eternally, demonstrating that bravery and resolve can alter any narrative. Get ready. This tale unfolds with surprising skill and unwavering determination, ensuring your attention is captured until the final moment. Before we dive in, please give this video a thumbs up and share your location in the comments. Your support enables us to share even more impactful narratives. Let us commence. Jake Mercer had always existed in the background, diligently assisting his father in the vast industrial facility of Detroit. His father held the position of janitor, recognized by all yet held in low regard by most. Jake's universe was a blend of dirt, perspiration, and the relentless buzz of industrial equipment. He dedicated endless hours after school to the plant's hidden corners, observing the mechanics as they toiled on engines, quietly soaking in every detail. He was always just the janitor's kid in their eyes. They chuckled when Jake had the audacity to envision a life beyond mopping floors and clearing out trash cans. On a frigid Monday morning, the plant's primary engine failed, a colossal beast of a machine that even the most adept mechanics dared not approach. The entire workshop hummed with a palpable sense of frustration and anxiety. Mr. Harding, the boss, a stern figure with little tolerance for errors, strode back and forth in agitation. "This is our lifeline," he remarked. "If this issue isn't resolved, promptly, the plant stands to lose a significant amount." The tension was palpable, and the technicians cast anxious looks at one another. Jake lingered on the sidelines, his heart racing more intensely than the machine's hum. In an instant, the boss's piercing voice sliced through the clamor. "Mercer, please come over here." Jake stood still, yet complied, entering the circle of gazes, brimming with incredulity and mirth. "Do you believe you can resolve this issue?" The supervisor scoffed. "Though many assert that it cannot be done, if you possess such certainty, demonstrate it." The ensuing laughter was relentless. A janitor's son was observed attempting to mimic the actions of a mechanic. To them, it was merely a jest. Yet within, Jake smoldered with a subdued intensity. For years, he immersed himself in the world of engines, quietly absorbing knowledge from those who ridiculed him. His hands were familiar with the texture of every bolt and gear, while his mind was keen enough to unravel issues that others missed. Yet this transcended mere talent. The essence lay in demonstrating that one's origins do not dictate the path. Ahead, Jake crouched next to the shattered device. The atmosphere grew still, with all eyes intently observing his every action. He scrutinized the engine meticulously, following the frayed wires and contorted pipes. The murmurs of doubt surrounded them, yet Jake remained steadfast in his concentration. He began to dismantle components, one by one, recalling the teachings he had internalized in silence. Each turn of his wrench was intentional, each modification exact. Time appeared to stretch endlessly. Time seemed to elongate endlessly. The mechanics drew nearer, their laughter giving way to a hushed sense of wonder. Jake was not merely fixing. He was transforming the narrative of what they believed could never be achieved. With each twist and turn, his confidence blossomed, and before long, the engine started to exhibit signs of vitality. Flickers of light danced. The steady hum of the machine gradually resurfaced, intensifying with every passing second. As the engine sprang back to life with a thunderous roar, an overwhelming sense of disbelief washed over everyone present. For the first time, the boss's stern expression relaxed. He regarded Jake, not merely as the son of a janitor, but as an individual who had garnered respect through unwavering determination and remarkable skill. The laughter transformed into a wave of applause. The unthinkable had become a reality. Yet this moment transcended the mere act of repairing a machine. It was about transcending limits, dispelling uncertainties, and sparking a flame of optimism in Jake's heart. It served as a profound reminder that skill can emerge from any corner, and genuine resilience is found in the unwavering spirit of perseverance. What Jake accomplished transcended mere repairs, a metamorphosis that would alter the course of his existence eternally. As Jake rose to his feet, beads of sweat cascading down his forehead, he realized this was merely the start of something much larger. The workshop, previously steeped in derision, had transformed into a realm of newfound reverence. The janitor's son emerged as a beacon of bravery and talent, demonstrating to all that true heroes can arise from the most surprising backgrounds. As soon as Jake repaired the engine, the whole plant seemed transformed. The oppressive atmosphere of uncertainty and disdain dissipated, giving way to a vibrant energy that thrummed throughout the workshop. Once overlooked by his peers, Jake now found himself the center of attention, eliciting a blend of admiration and uncertainty from those around him. Even Mr. Harding, the boss who had ridiculed him just moments earlier, acknowledged him with a hesitant sense of respect. Jake sensed the intensity of their gaze, yet rather than shrinking away, he felt empowered. This was his opportunity to demonstrate that he was meant to be here, not merely as the son of a janitor, but as an individual with the potential for greatness. Word of Jake's accomplishment traveled fast. News spread beyond the confines of the workshop, making its way to the attention of the plant's upper management. Out of the blue, Jake found himself receiving invitations to meetings he had never imagined he would be a part of. The plant manager inquired about the method he used to repair the engine, intrigued by the expertise he demonstrated. Jake articulated his thoughts with assurance, unraveling the intricate repairs through precise and insightful descriptions. Listeners were captivated, coming to understand that this young man held depths beyond their initial perceptions. His understanding was profound and his enthusiasm unmistakable. However, along with the increased focus arose fresh obstacles. In hushed tones, a few colleagues murmured about Jake, their envy palpable as they struggled to come to terms with his ascent. They wondered whether he had genuinely completed the work on his own, or if fortune had simply smiled upon him. Jake brushed off the chatter, understanding that his value was determined not by whispers, but by what he accomplished. He persevered with dedication, arriving before dawn and leaving after dusk, absorbing knowledge with each passing day. Every task, regardless of its size, presented a chance to refine his abilities and demonstrate his potential even more. One afternoon, the facility encountered yet another challenge. A vital component of the machinery broke down, endangering production and potentially costing the company millions. The seasoned mechanics found themselves at a loss, unable to uncover a solution. Jake observed intently, analyzing the situation from a distance. His heart raced, fueled not by fear, but by an unwavering resolve. He understood this was the moment to rise once more. With the supervisor's approval, he moved closer to the malfunctioning equipment. The atmosphere grew still again as Jake scrutinized the chaotic jumble of metal and wires. His hands danced with intent, drawing upon the wisdom gleaned from hidden teachings and the tales of resilience shared by his father. Each turn of his wrench was deliberate and precise. Time dragged on, each minute stretching into what felt like an eternity. The atmosphere in the room was charged, yet Jake's concentration remained unshakable. Gradually, the machine started to react. A subtle vibration intensified, a sign that vitality was reawakening within the once dormant metal. As the machine surged back to life, the whole facility burst into jubilant applause. Jake had achieved the unimaginable once more. This triumph transcended mere mechanics or engines. It was about dismantling barriers constructed from uncertainty, fear, and bias. Jake demonstrated that bravery, talent, and passion could alter the trajectory of countless lives. The individuals who previously ridiculed him now recognized a leader taking shape. In the face of achievement, Jake continued to embody humility. He understood that the journey ahead would be fraught with greater obstacles and doubt, yet he felt prepared. The son of the janitor had finally stepped into the light. He was an undeniable presence, and his narrative was motivating others to have faith in their own capabilities. With each stride he made, he was not only shaping his own destiny, but also altering the fate of all those who had ever been overlooked. Just as the applause began to fade, an unforeseen guest made their entrance at the plant. A man named Richard Caldwell, a representative from a prominent engineering firm recognized for collaborating with leading industry figures nationwide. His presence immediately heightened the tension. The employees murmured nervously. They understood that such scrutiny could lead to significant transformations that might not benefit everyone. Jake's heart raced with intensity. He realized that this meeting had the potential to either unlock new opportunities or seal them shut for good. Richard strolled through the workshop, his keen eyes scanning the machines and the workers before settling on Jake. He requested to examine the engine that Jake had fixed, along with the comprehensive notes Jake had maintained. Jake presented, his meticulously recorded steps filled with pride for the countless hours dedicated not just to repairing the machines, but also to grasping every subtle detail. Richard nodded, captivated by the richness of Jake's insights and the lucidity of his descriptions. This was a result of careful planning and intention. Jake possessed genuine skill, the sort that could shake up the industry. The meeting evolved into an exploration of potential avenues. Richard conveyed that his company was in search of innovative individuals, those who could offer unique viewpoints and tackle challenges that others had abandoned. He discussed the concept of innovation, emphasizing the transformation of engineering through a departure from conventional thought. For the first time, Jake understood that his aspirations could extend far beyond the modest surroundings of his upbringing. The notion of being involved in something grander, something that would push the boundaries of possibility, filled him with exhilaration. However, not all were prepared to join in the festivities. A few of the seasoned mechanics, sensing a challenge from the spotlight Jake was garnering, started to openly doubt his credibility. They claimed he hadn't truly deserved his position, that he was merely a fortunate young man. A palpable tension filled the air. Jake confronted his toughest challenge to date, not a device to repair, but the necessity to demonstrate his true character and integrity. He did not react with fury. Instead, he opted to allow his creations to resonate more profoundly than mere expressions. Each day he drove himself to new heights, gaining knowledge, honing his skills, and standing firm in the face of challenges. During this period, Jake's bond with his father grew stronger. His father, who had once accepted a life of simplicity, now perceived a fresh spark in his son's gaze, a flame that ignited his hope. They shared countless evenings, delving into conversations about engines, life, and what it truly means to succeed. Jake's father emphasized that genuine strength is derived not from wealth or position, but from passion and determination. This guidance anchored Jake as the obstacles before him expanded in size and intricacy. Then arrived the moment when Richard extended an invitation to Jake to explore the firm's headquarters in Chicago. This marked a pivotal moment, an opportunity to break free from the confines of the plant and enter a realm where Jake's talents could genuinely flourish. As he got ready for the journey, Jake experienced a blend of thrill and apprehension. This adventure would challenge all he had absorbed and drive him to unprecedented heights. What lay ahead for Jake in Chicago would astonish him beyond belief. Unexpected encounters, treacherous turns, bonds forged, and wisdom gained would intertwine in ways he could never foresee. The janitor's son stood at the brink of a profound change, one that would alter not only his own existence, but also the lives of everyone in his orbit for all time. The train thundered into Chicago Station, its arrival echoing the tempest of thoughts churning within Jake's mind. The majestic skyline loomed above, both awe-inspiring and grand in its presence. He had never set foot in a city of this magnitude. The ceaseless throng of individuals, the blaring horns of vehicles, the soaring structures. The atmosphere was unlike the serene avenues of Detroit, yet Jake felt entirely at home. He sensed a readiness within himself. With each step he took, the resonance of relentless effort and unwavering resolve filled the air, a testament to the journey that brought him to this moment. The headquarters of Caldwell Engineering buzzed with energy. The workspace was adorned with cutting-edge technology, transparent walls and vibrant illumination. Jake encountered Richard Caldwell once more, yet this occasion transcended the bounds of a mere formal meeting. Richard brought Jake into a circle of exceptional engineers and innovators, individuals who are redefining the landscape of industry. They viewed Jake beyond the label of a janitor's son. They regarded him as an equal, a visionary brimming with the potential to transform the landscape. Jake received a project that was intricate, demanding, and accompanied by strict timelines. The challenge was crafted to stretch his boundaries and determine whether he could thrive under the intense demands of cutting-edge creativity. The endeavor centered around crafting an innovative engine component aimed at enhancing efficiency and minimizing expenses. Jake immersed himself in his tasks with unwavering dedication. Nights melded into days as he immersed himself in blueprints, calculations, and prototypes. The burden of expectations loomed over him, yet Jake embraced the challenge with open arms. Initially, the other engineers expressed doubt. There were those who questioned whether a young individual lacking a formal engineering degree could offer any significant insights. Jake brushed aside the uncertainties. Instead, he concentrated on absorbing information, gaining knowledge, and implementing his distinctive perspectives. Gradually, his concepts started to shine. He suggested modifications that rendered the design both practical and groundbreaking. The space that previously questioned him began to pay attention. Respect was gained with a subtle yet resolute approach. As the project approached its final stages, Jake encountered his most significant challenge to date. The prototype underwent testing in the lab, capturing everyone's attention as the results emerged. The engine component delivered results that surpassed all expectations, achieving efficiency goals by an impressive margin. Cheers filled the room. Richard Caldwell beamed, filled with pride at having unearthed such remarkable talent. Jake felt a surge of relief and joy wash over him. He demonstrated that fervor and determination could triumph over any challenge. Yet this was more than merely a triumph in one's career, a significant moment of personal growth. Jake came to understand that his path encompassed far more than merely repairing machines. It was about liberating oneself from the constraints imposed by others and forging an individual journey. The son of the janitor emerged as a beacon of hope for those who felt their aspirations were too grand or unattainable. As Jake got ready to head back home, he realized that his life had been transformed for good. Endless possibilities lay ahead, and his narrative was just starting to unfold. Yet the journey forward would prove to be challenging. Unforeseen obstacles, tough choices, and trials of integrity await on the horizon. Jake disembarked the train in Detroit, carrying the burden of his achievements alongside the anticipation of what lay ahead. The city had taken on a new essence. Well-known avenues felt alive with fresh potential. He had transcended the label of merely being the janitor's son. He was a man who confronted uncertainty, overcame obstacles, and garnered admiration from some of the most influential figures in the field. Yet this was far from the conclusion of his tale. A new chapter was unfolding, hinting at possibilities beyond imagination. Upon Jake's return to the plant, the responses varied significantly. Some workers welcomed him with authentic respect, while others kept their distance, uncertain about how to navigate his ascent. Mr. Harding, the supervisor who had previously questioned his abilities, approached silently and offered a handshake. The gesture, though subtle, carried great significance. It was a recognition that Jake had demonstrated his worth unequivocally. Jake grasped the hand with conviction, not as a gesture of triumph over others, but as an expression of shared respect. Jake came to understand that his most significant asset wasn't merely his expertise or understanding, but rather his ability to motivate those around him. His journey shone brightly for those who felt ignored, undervalued, or trapped. Individuals started seeking his guidance, enthusiastic to discover how they might also conquer challenges and achieve greater success. Jake fully accepted this role, recounting his journey candidly and inspiring others to have faith in their own abilities. The organization began to transform, not only in its processes but also in its ethos. Where skepticism once held sway, collaboration and respect flourished. Yet Jake's aspirations reached far beyond the confines of the factory. Thanks to Richard Caldwell's guidance and encouragement, he decided to enroll in an engineering program to refine his skills and pursue further development. Each day presented a fresh challenge, a new lesson, Yet Jake faced them all with steadfast resolve. He understood that learning would unlock additional opportunities and enable him to create a more significant influence. The ultimate surprise unfolded as Jake received an invitation to spearhead a groundbreaking initiative focused on advancing sustainable technology for the company. This was an opportunity to mold what lies ahead, to create an enduring impact. The endeavor called for imagination, determination, and guidance, traits that Jake had honed throughout his experiences. As he faced his team, poised to begin this new endeavor, Jake allowed a subtle smile to cross his lips. He began his journey as a young lad, overlooked by all around him. At that moment, he stood as a figure capable of transforming the very fabric of existence. This narrative exemplifies the remarkable outcomes that arise when bravery aligns with chance and diligence intertwines with faith. Jake Mercer's journey serves as a powerful reminder that regardless of our origins or how insignificant we may perceive ourselves, the potential for greatness lies within our grasp if we are willing to strive for it. I appreciate your presence as we journeyed together. Through each moment of this remarkable tale, great things are on the horizon,